From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Yeah, thanks, Ollie. Good stuff. Welcome to Wednesday's programme. Freezing cold day here in Manchester. Hope you're warm. Hope you're wrapped up well. Thanks for joining me. It's just after 5 p.m. It's a live show, of course. richieallen.co.uk, Fab Radio 2, triggerwarning.tv, and, of course, Tune In Radio. Welcome to the show.
Welcome back to the most listened to independent radio show in Europe. It's your Richie Allen Show.
Going to kick off this afternoon with the World Economic Forum in Davos. The great and the good are in Davos in Switzerland. The World Economic Forum, mentioned it fleetingly last night, and they're improving the state of the world. That's what's going on, apparently. They're improving the state of the world. The great and the good. But no Donald Trump and no Theresa May. They're not there. But Bono is there. And Will I Am is there. And Bill Gates is there. Here's Sky News' Ed Conway reporting today from Davos. Ed Conway of Sky.
Despite the fact that Theresa May is not here, Donald Trump is not here, there are many other luminaries, both of politics and of other fields as well. Business people. I saw the chief executive of Apple for the first time coming here, Tim Cook, having various meetings with people on the sidelines. And it's not just business people as well. There are various celebrities as well. Matt Damon, will.i.am, Bono was here as well. It's an odd collection of people, it must be said, here at Davos. But as far as they're concerned, the catch line here is committed to improving the state of the world. Are they doing it, Kay? We'll have to see.
Don't ask Kay. Kay doesn't know her arse from her elbow. God love her. We will hear from Kay on an unrelated matter in a minute. So you have all the celebrities at Davos, eh? And they're calling it improving the state of the world. For me, that evokes memories of we are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving.
There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own lives.
It's true.
We make a better day, just you and me.
Just you and me and Bono and Bill Gates. The world is broken. But Bono and Bill Gates and Matt Damon will make it all better. Mad times. I want to give a big shout out to Rory McKeown, who listens to the programme. Rory, how you doing? He sent me a very interesting article this morning, which I would have missed because it was published on cnbc.com. I'll pay more attention to that. Not normally a priority for me, but a very interesting article. Thanks, Rory. Related to Bill Gates and Davos. Here's the headline. Are you ready for this? Bill Gates, my best investment, turned $10 billion into $200 billion worth of economic benefit. Now that is a massive winner, 20 to 1 that. Bill Gates, my best investment, turned 10 billion into 200 billion. What was it? What was it, Bill? Well, according to CNBC, investing in global health organizations aimed at increasing access to vaccines creates a 20 to 1 return in economic benefit. Now, how do we know this? Well, Bill Gates was speaking with CNBC this morning. Over the past 2 decades, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has donated a bit more than $10 billion into mainly 3 groups. And those groups are the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization, the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, Tuberculosis and Malaria, and the Global Polio Eradication Initiative. So Bill has spent $10 billion with them and got $200 billion back. How does it work? It's marvellous. Well, Bill will walk us through the math right here, speaking to NBC, WNBC.
You've invested $10 billion in vaccinations over the last 2 decades, and you figured out the return on investment for that, and it kind of stunned me. Can you walk us through the math?
Well, it's pretty impressive that when you take these vaccines, get them to be very inexpensive by making big volume commitments, have that right relationship with the private sector, get the delivery system so they're really getting the coverage out there. you literally save millions of lives. And 20 years ago, when we created these new multilateral organizations, Gavi for the vaccines, Global Fund for HIV, TB, and malaria, we didn't know they'd be successful. They've gone through lots of challenges about making sure the money gets there, making sure the efficiency is right. But as we look at upcoming replenishments for those, and we've got so much distraction politically that the international needs like this could get eclipsed.
Christ, he drones on, doesn't he? But listen to the rest of it.
Eclipsed if we're not careful. You know, we see a phenomenal track record. It's been $100 billion overall that the world's put in. Our foundation is a bit more than $10 billion, but we feel there's been over a 20-to-1 return. So if you just look at the economic benefits, that's a pretty strong number compared to anything else. The human benefit in millions of lives saved. So, you know, we're here with a pretty strong message that although all these other issues are very important, let's not forget about the great success in global health and maintaining that commitment.
There's gold in them thar hills, them vaccine hills. Loads of money in sticking the world's children with a tidal wave of toxic shit that will destroy their immune system. Now, that clip there, I've edited that clip in sequence. So I've not edited it and rearranged the wording of it, but I've edited it to take out the waffle, and I'll play that for you in a minute. Keep it in mind. Investing in global health organizations, increasing access to vaccines made 10 billion turn into 200 billion for Bill Gates. Of course, it's a sure thing. Now, long-time friends of mine, listeners that have been with me for many, many years, will remember me making special shows about foreign aid to third world countries. Foreign aid, what is it? Well, it's your tax pounds and euro and dollars and yen going to developing countries. But it's not money. It's not money, you see. So when the government of the United Kingdom commits to a certain amount of GDP to be released as foreign aid, it isn't money. The government of third world countries don't get money to decide where the aid is spent. It's often healthcare products and vaccines. And groups like the World Health Organization decide on behalf of the developing countries where the money is spent. See, I've done shows on this where I've proved this before. And in many cases, it's vaccines and sanitation projects where massive companies like Nestle get to come in and run the water of that country using a subsidiary or otherwise. It's a wonderful bit of gangsterism. Hello, developing third world country that's got fuck all because we've stolen all your resources. Hello, hello, nice to see you again. Would you like some foreign aid? Oh, we'd love some. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll give you $200 billion, but we're not going to give you the money. We're going to spend it for you. And we're going to vaccinate the bejesus out of your children. And I'll tell you what else we're going to do. We're going to fix your water. We're going to fix all the pipes. We're going to get water, clean water, piped into all of the homes in the country. But we've got people to do that for you. Yes, it's a company called Malox or something weird like that. It's just a subsidiary of a company like Nestle. It's fucking sick. But that's what happens. And vaccines are part of that as well. Birth control pills, part of that as well. Also, aid often comes in the form of third world governments allowing big pharma companies to come in and pay very poor young men and women a pittance for participating in clinical trials. This is true. Listen, in return for the foreign aid that we're not really going to give you, because we're going to spend it for you, allow us to do clinical trials on the poorest people in your country, and please pass laws that mean that we can't be sued when they grow 3 fucking heads. Right? We are the world. We are the children. Here's that Bill Gates clip again. This time I've edited the clip like I said I did. Still in sequence. I have not rearranged the sentences. Listen closely to what Bill says. This time with the waffle edited out. He basically just says what I've just said there.
When you take these vaccines, get them to be very inexpensive by making big volume commitments.
By making big volume commitments, right? Big volume commitments means that you promise the pharma companies that you're going to give hundreds of millions of these injections to a various country, right?
That right relationship with the private sector.
Get the right relationship with the private sector. Basically, you take over the private sector.
And 20 years ago, when we created these new multilateral organizations, Gavi for the vaccines, Global Fund for HIV, TB and malaria, we didn't know they'd be successful.
You did, Bill. You're a lying motherfucker. You knew they'd be successful because you took over the private sector. You took over the World Health Organization. You've made vaccines cheap because you promised that hundreds of millions of them would be delivered to countries all around the world. Basically, Bill, it's full spectrum fucking dominance. You couldn't possibly fail, could you?
It's been $100 billion overall that the world's put in.
Now the world put $100 billion in. Bill Gates Foundation put $10 billion in. So when Bill Gates says the world put $100 billion in, he means they did so through foreign aid, which I've just explained.
All that the world's put in. Our foundation, it's been $100 billion overall that the world's put in.
Foreign aid.
Our foundation is a bit more than $10 billion. But we feel there's been over a 20-to-1 return. So if you just look at the economic benefits, that's a pretty strong number compared to anything else.
Marvelous.
There's a choice we're making.
We're killing the whole world, one fucking vaccine at a time. Just you and me. There you are. Bill Gates admitting on NBC that He's evil is beyond. If you combine every James Bond villain in every film ever, C. Montgomery Burns, Genghis Khan, Adolf Hitler, Bill Gates is that on steroids. Straight from the horse's mouth, 17 minutes past the hour.